But to just jump to say, let's remove the Chief Justice and all that. There's one thing. If you are a panel of a judicial process, you are immune from prosecution. Whatever that you say there, nobody can take you to another court by saying that I heard you in this court say A, B, C, D. That's a privilege that is given to the members of the judiciary and even people who appear at the judiciary. Secondly, if you look at Parliament, if you are a parliamentarian and at the plenary, you make any comment, it cannot be subject to prosecution and all those things. Now, the Chief Justice, took a decision, and even took a decision, not even on a personal decision. This was a panel that took a decision, and somebody says that only the Chief Justice. Bear in mind, even Justice Poma was part of those panel members. The chairman of the committee that was set, he was part of the members that actually sat on that matter. Meanwhile, that matter saw the light of the day. It was given clear as having reached the threshold for a prima facie. Apart from that, the Chief Justice was doing his administrative work by transferring ABC, the people from one place to the other and all that. And somebody said that because he was transferred, then this matter also became a matter for the removal of a Chief Justice. I'm bringing the Chief Justice here not because she's a matter here, but the Chief Justice and then this matter of the deputies and then the EC are all under Article 146, and therefore could be discussed, collectively. But you see, for me, I've told you from the very word go that I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised because, look, the goodwill of this present government is fast waning. It's fast evaporating into thin air. And therefore, for wrong reasons. Look at what is happening at the cocoa sector, where the cocoa farmer is being treated like nobody, where they have been shortchanged and nobody cares. Nobody care about their plight. Nobody care about whatever that happened to a cocoa farmer and all that. That is one. Secondly, we've seen the removal of Chief Justice. Some of the cases are yet to even be adjudicated upon. I mean, if you go to the ECOWAS court, the Chief Justice has taken the matter there. We are yet to see, the full, the finality of the case and all that. Even at the Ghana Supreme Court, we still have some of the cases of still lingering there, and all these things culminated with galamsey and all manner of things that are going on, bribery and all that. I don't think any government worth its salt would have want to put itself once again in the public scrutiny again. And no matter how frivolous it is, I'm telling you, if the president were to okay this, it would have gone through. And remember that one of the reasons why I said I'm not surprised is that the Chief Justice would not want to go against the president, because the president had already made his stand clear that he's not interested, especially with the special prosecutor. When Mama Yerega, the majority leader in parliament, said that they were planning to go to write petitions to remove the special prosecutor, the president came out and said that for him, I mean, he's not interested in that. I mean, it's too late. It's too early for them to be thinking about removing Chief Justice and all that. That was the words of the president to be special prosecutor. So for me, it is like, oh, the president has already spoken. So let's clear this whole thing. If not, look, for me, no matter how frivolous the matter is, this president or this current president is able to do anything. Is able to engineer things and ensure that the removal process come to be. I'm disappointed with Charlotte Osei's husband, who think that the best way to govern, or the best way for a nation to grow, is to be seeking revenge every now and then. I mean, you will be mourning the fact that your wife did not do certain things but were removed unfairly. I mean, she said it was foul injustice for the wife to have conducted a very smooth and transparent election and then got voted out afterwards.
Was it found injustice?
It's completely not. I mean, you see, you cannot say, and he even went to say that, but if you look at Jim Mensah superintended over the killing of about 8 people, and then I had to mention results like 3 or so times, and even went ahead to say some BVD machines got lost. I mean, what is that? These are not the issues. BVD machines could have been lost and all that, but could not be the fault of the Electoral Commission. The Electoral Commission is not in charge of security. If 8 people died, you cannot hold the Electoral Commission for the death of 8 people because the Electoral Commission is not in charge of security. And then he will mention some, nebulous things that do not make sense to me. So, and let's even look at the atmosphere. Look, Jane Mensah, if you take Charlotte Osei, for instance, the working atmosphere under Charlotte Osei was so rancorous between him and his deputies. So his deputies themselves even wrote petitions against him, against her. She also wrote against some of them. People who should combine forces, minds, who should put their minds together and ensure that the Electoral Commission work effectively, where at variance with each other, everybody and his issue. The late Amadou Suleimana was writing petitions against Charlotte Osei. F. Amankwa, I've forgotten is it Francis or something Amankwa, that lady, was also writing against her. She also wrote against them and all those things. Apart from that, we've gone there. You see, ordinary people, ordinary workers, everybody is talking that she was not fit for purpose. She was a square peg in a round hole and all that. Apart from that, look at the procurement issues that came. All these things culminated in the decision of the committee that there was a stated misbehavior and therefore she has to give way. And that is exactly what happened that time. But it does not mean that if you dissent, okay, if you do not agree with the decision of the committee, any other future action should also be should be gone the way that you thought your wife was subjected to. I think it is wrong. If your wife was subjected to certain wrongs and then you feel it was wrong, why are you praying that some other people too should be subjected to same thing? And the democracy that we have, the nascent democracy, this democracy has not reached the level. It's not a finished article. We are grooming it. You cannot be grooming it with a mindset of revenge, with the mindset of ensuring that people who are doing their work, you can do work and make mistake. Your mistake would not be tantamount to your removal. The start threshold might not be that. So I'm saying that, I'm not saying that Jane Mensah is perfect. Deputies are not perfect. If somebody says NDC is a problem with this, you can disagree with him or her. But this should not call for that person's removal. So I agree with the Chief Justice in exercising Article 146(3) that, I mean, there is no prima facie case, and therefore, I mean, there is no need to even set any committee. Now, the president, based on that, has also, dismissed those things. So let us move forward. If this NDC government want us to heal, want us to do reset. Reset is not to be going back and then be using people, be doing things that do not inure to the benefit of the people. I think that settles this. The law is clear on that. The president says he doesn't like. There was the last thing before my other colleagues come in. The last thing was that even, some of this petition came even during the MPP time. Yes. Some of them were thrown away. The Chief Justice saw that, I mean, there is no merit. But when the NDC came back, some of them, went and took the discredited petitions that were thrown away, and then dusted them, and then brought them back to the NDC, thinking that for the NDC they are vindictive enough to accept it. And I'm happy that these things were thrown in, on their faces. So, and to the extent
that's proving that the NDC is not vindictive.
I mean, if we want us to set this nation forward, you don't have to be vindictive, go about revenge missions and those things. And then there was a point I wanted to make about it just escaped me, but it's also still about what the Charlotte Osai husband said. He said certain things that I strongly disagree with him. But
husband is not the one who made the petition. So I don't know why you're constantly.
No, I'm concentrating on him because there are a lot of people. There are people who think like him. There are a lot of people who think like him. And then once you debunk some of those things, people will now understand that there is a democracy to build. It's not about individuals. It's not about spouses and their interests. It's not about who remove who. If there is a need, if there is an inescapable need for us to remove anybody, I mean, who all put our hands together and remove such a person, especially if the action of that person is so grievous to the extent that it brings the name of the institution and even Ghana together into disrepute.
Thank you, Saka.
But not on frivolous matters like this.
Right. Thank you very much, Saka. I'm meeting for the very first time the Director of Policy for the United Party, Dr. Nana Yaweduchum. I don't know if he's been here at Pan-African TV before. You have?
Yes, yeah, I have, but not on set.
Oh, okay.
I've accompanied my flag bearer and founder.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay, yes, I understand. That was
we commend
2024
campaign.
Yes, that's true. Welcome.
Thank you.
It's good to have you here on the national
agenda.
agenda.
Very grateful.
Right, and so we'll continue the conversation. We are talking about the petitions to remove the EC chair, Madam Jane Mensah, and her deputies. Also, there was a petition to remove the special prosecutor. These petitions have not seen the light of day, or the content of it have not come to fruition because the Chief Justice has dismissed them, and according to him, no prima facie case has been or was established upon careful scrutiny. Saka Salia of the New Patriotic Party has shared his 2 cents on it. But let me come to my brother and friend Selom Dramani Jamado, who I'm sure also has a lot to say on this particular issue. But then, from where I sit, one thing came in mind. I mean, when initially I heard that this petition had been sent, or the president had been petitioned to look at this particular matter, I always believed, or I always thought that, look, it was high time we had strong institutions, and not necessarily the people who man these institutions. If we have strong people, if the institution is strong, then it will be very difficult for people to use their whimsical and then their capricious edges to do things that they want to do without recourse to, to the people of Ghana. And so I've always believed, I was hoping that Madame Jane Mensah wouldn't be removed. I was hoping that she wouldn't be, removed, but I was hoping that we strengthen the Electoral Commission, the institution as a body. Then it would prevent people from, doing certain things or taking certain decisions that we believe would not be in the interest of the nation. But let me take your initial thoughts on the petition and then the decision of Justice Paul Bafuboni. Okay.
Bless, thank you very much for the opportunity, and let me use the opportunity to say a very good afternoon to members of Arise Ghana, especially to our co-convener Marion Nyaba. She has a difficult task of controlling a group that is predominantly boisterous men who, them, you know those who are in Arise Ghana. We are boisterous. We take such uncompromising positions on national issues, especially those things that will benefit the masses of this country. That is the position we take. And to members of Ghana Action Network, and to all the people of Central Town constituency who are watching your program National Agenda, and to Sakasalia and Doc, my first time being on panel with you. Bless. Ghana, I always say, is a creature of law. The territory called Ghana, it's law that makes Ghana Ghana. So therefore, it's law that regulates whatever we do. Whatever we do in this country must be within the boundaries or within the precinct of the constitution of this country, and any other law not inconsistent with the 1992 constitution. So, you know, prior to the 2024 election, there were calls that when the NDC came to power, the Chief Justice, sorry, the Electoral Commissioner, Madam Jean Mensah, will be removed. And through to that call, when the NDC came to power, through overwhelming, you know, out of overwhelming victory, there were a group of some people or some individuals who petitioned the president for the removal of Madam Jean Mensah on grounds that she had exhibited incompetence, or on grounds that the people believe that were within the conditions for removal of the Electoral Commissioner, as stipulated in Article 146. Article 146 says, and I quote, a chief justice or a chairman of the regional tribunal shall not be removed from office except for stated misbehavior, or incompetence, or inability to perform the functions of his office arising from infirmity of body or mind, unquote. Article 146 clause 1. Then the clause 3 says that if the president receives petition from people, the petition should be referred to the Chief Justice, blah blah blah. That is what the Constitution says. Okay, so the people who sent the petition to the president had a strong belief that indeed Madam Jean Mensah exhibited what would constitute stated misbehavior and incompetence. Not only Madam Jean Mensah, but her two deputies. The President of the Republic, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, received those petitions and constitutionally, as mandated, referred those petitions to the Chief Justice, for the Chief Justice to do do what the Constitution describes as establishing a prima facie case. So if the Chief Justice is able to, or if the Chief Justice establishes a prima facie case, then it means that there will not be a committee that will be formed, blah blah blah. Now,
if it's established,
yeah, that is what I'm saying. That is what I'm saying. That if the Chief Justice establishes this, establishes a prima facie case, then a committee will be set up or established by the Chief Justice. Yes. Then for the committee to look into or to investigate those the grounds upon which the removal is being sought. Now, a lot of Ghanaians who witnessed the conduct of Madam Jean Mensah and her deputies believe that Madam Jean Mensah and her deputies should be removed from office. But you know, the Constitution of Ghana, the stated misbehavior, as you speak now, it is not something that is constitutionally defined. Saka, you are a law student. there is no constitutionally defined or the constitutional definition of what constitutes stated misbehavior. There is nothing like that as you speak. And it is something that for law enthusiasts or students of law should push, that as you speak now, going forward, we should have a definition for what constitutes stated misbehavior.
Right.
And when we say incompetence, at least I remember in the famous petition, the presidential petition, even the black law. No, I mean the 2012 one. The black law dictionary was even used. The definition of it was a legal term that the black law dictionary was used in the Supreme Court to define that the black law says this, therefore it's authoritative. So going forward, I think we should do that advocacy, that there should be a definition for what constitutes stated misbehavior, because as is speaking of that definition is in the bosom of the Chief Justice. So the Chief Justice, it is nebulous, it is vague, it is vague, it is nebulous. So it is only in the bosom, that definition is in the bosom of the Chief Justice. So if the Chief Justice, who is mandated or clothed with the powers of establishing prima facie case, is telling us today that those individuals or the petitions he has received, those petitions, he could not establish any prima facie case against the Chief Justice and the OSP. I'm actually dealing with the EC boss and her two deputies, who are my struggling soul in Ghana to be challenging a decision made by the Chief Justice. But the thing is this, you know, the law, as said by the learned justice of the Supreme Court, the name just Uniculendi.
Madam Gertrude.
No. He thought I would be falling. He thought I would be falling for the mischief. You see, so the learned justice, Uniculendi, he said something in the year I think it was 2000.
Let it be on record.
Thank you. Yeah. And I yes, it's such an erudite justice of the Superior Court, of the Supreme Court. You know, he said something in the year, I think it was 2008. No, it was in the wake of the Ghana at 50 committee, the outcome. Yeah, he was the, I think he was the lawyer for Tazan. Yeah, Mr. Rekubra.
And the police, you know, and those police.
Okay, don't worry, I'm establishing something. He said something when he was being interviewed about the outcome of the committee and why he was representing his client. He said that, quote, the law is just English and common sense. And I said, okay, then that's great, because it's English. So if you have a firm grasp of the English language and you have common sense, you can interpret the law. You can have your way around the law, because that is what the law is. So to that extent, I would disagree with the learned Chief Justice of the Supreme Court for him to say that the petition he received, he couldn't find stated misbehavior. He couldn't find an act of incompetence. I disagree. Because, you know, there was one time, I think sometime in 2022 or 2021, when I had to stage one-man protest to the Electoral Commission. Why did I have to stage one-man protest to the Electoral Commission? One thing, it was just clear that the Electoral Commission took a whimsical, arbitrary, capricious decision to do a limited registration exercise. And that registration exercise, the EC decided to limit the registration to all district offices in the country, which was at variance with the Constitution Article 45E. Because the Constitution Article 45, which stipulates the functions of the Electoral Commission, particularly Article 45E, says that the Electoral Commission shall undertake programs for the expansion of the registration of voters. For the expansion of the registration of voters. So if therefore the Electoral Commission decided to limit registration process to district offices, then the Electoral Commission glaringly was doing something that was at variance or at odds with the law.
So that was not expansion?
It is not.
It is what?
It is not. Registration of voters.
Yes.
Expansion of the registration of voters.
Yes.
You cannot limit registration to district offices and tell me that is expansion. That is actually restriction and separation of voters.
Oh no.
Registration of voters.
Anyway, that's your
and that is what it is.
That's your opinion.
That is it.
That's his interpretation.
That is my considered opinion, objective opinion of what constitutes expansion of registration of voters.
Even
that it should be, it should cut across the constituency, because in that case you are automatically limiting some Ghanaians from coming to district offices to register.
Then you should just register everybody in his house.
Yes,
you should be going around everybody's house.
Good.
And be registering them.
Good. It's good. You are even a law student. So you know, we are all autonomous by nature. We are all autonomous, but it is because of social cohesion and order. That is why we have decided to have leaders, so that we will not be in the jungle. So that is why registering to vote is an entitlement. It is not even a right. It is an entitlement. It is an inalienable right, imprescriptible right. It is a right that when you are moving, you move with that right. When you sleep with that right. When you wake up with that right.
No.
That is it. So the government of Ghana cannot, through the Electoral Commission, even say that you are not going to be, you will not be allowed to vote, because it is a decision that you take as a human being, that I am ceding my autonomy to you. That is why when it comes to register,
these are not impediments.
Not even that. You can be sound. You can be 18 years and still the law will not allow you to vote.
Why?
why?
To register or
To register.
Why?
Why?
Yeah, the law will still not allow you, because look, before on the 7th. No, you see, not even that. You can qualify in all these things, and the law will still say that you cannot register to vote.
Why?
Yes, because I'm saying, number one, the law says that if you are 18 years, you can, and you are sound in mind and everything.
I think you should go straight.
Yes, straight to that.
Yes. So, but in Ghana, people are 18 but are not registered, because the registration comes earlier than the time that they get to become 18 years. No, they are 18.
Oh.
No, they are 18. For instance, registration finished 3 or 4 months ago. And then somebody is 18 years 2 days to the elections. So you qualify in every right, but you are above even the age of 18. You are willing to go and register and vote, but they say that no, the registration has finished already, so you cannot vote.
Good. But that is why. That is why. No.
Because in some jurisdictions,
you see, by the time. Yes. Yeah. In some article.
No. If on the SIV you turn 18 years. If on the SIV you turn 18 years. On the 7th, no, you can vote.
You can. In our jurisdiction, no.
Yeah, so that's the reason why I'm saying that
here's the thing.
You can qualify in all this.
Here's the thing.
And still not be able to.
Yeah, Article 42. Article 42 is explicitly clear. Article 42 says that you are entitled to register, to vote, and then you move from there to Article 45, which says that the Electoral Commission shall compile the register of voters and revise it at such periods as may be determined by law. so you get your thing now.
Yes.
So that is the cure for this. That to revise it at such periods as may be determined by law. So that cures this. So if you turn 18 on the day of voting and your name is not on the register, you cannot vote because the law says that the Electoral Commission shall revise. So at the time the Electoral Commission was doing the revision, you were not 18. So therefore you cannot take part in that particular election. So that is just beside the point. That is just that is just beside the that's not that's
always hard.
Thank you.
At the highest level.
Thank you. So
no, I'm always wrong.
So that is a debate that if you're still willing, we'll do it, but not here because for want of time. So for interpretation. So now that is for incompetence, that the lady displayed incompetence. And you know, at the time I embarked on that one-man protest to press home the demand for the Electoral Commission to expand the registration of voters, the political parties were looking for the Electoral Commissioner and her deputies to be served court process. She kept dodging them, swerving them, to the extent that the political parties had to give up because they were not getting them to serve. If she meant well, or she had meant well for this country, and her decision was a well-intentioned one to limit the registration process to just district officers, why would she have been dodging the political parties, dodging the court process?
Come to that conclusion.
But
they were dodging.
They were dodging. They were swerving. They were swerving. They were swerving. They were swerving.
They should have gone for substituted.
And you know what? At the time when I did that protest to the Electoral Commission, one of them came to me and said, "What's your problem?" And I told him that it is your decision to limit the registration process to district officers because that is at variance. It is actually at war with Article 45 clause. Article 45E. That is Article 45E, which says that the Electoral Commission shall embark on program for the expansion, undertake program for the expansion of the registration of voters.
Yes.
It is not expanding the register because it's registration.
People in their offices. It's also
Hello. So then I explained that to the gentleman, and he said, "Oh, but if the register is being compiled and is being expanded," I said, "No, register is a byproduct of registration. It is registration that gives forth to a register. It is not a register. So registration brings forth a register." So there I realized that no, this person had a defective understanding of what even that constitutional provision is. That is Article 45A. Now let's go to Bosman Asare. Dr. Bosman Asare, you know, he made an incendiary comment, unguarded, reckless incendiary comment that a political party was a threat to the democratic stability of this country.
if it's a statement of fact.
It was a state. He said it. He said that the NDC as a political party was a threat, was a present and clear danger to the stability of this country.
This is a statement of facts.
It was an incendiary, it was an incendiary, reckless and guarded statement by that gentleman. You know why? I always say that Ghana is a creature of law, and whatever we do must be within the precinct of the law. Article 55, clause 1 says, and I quote, "The right to form political parties is hereby guaranteed," unquote. Clause 2, 55 clause 2 says that every Ghanaian of voting age has the right to join a political party. It's Mr. Bosman Asare, Dr. Bosman Asare, his incendiary, inflammatory, and guarded, reckless, irresponsible comment at the time was again at variance with that constitutional provision, which says that you have the right to form political parties, or the right to form political parties is guaranteed by Article 55 clause 1. And the Chief Justice said that all this unguarded statement by somebody manning that strategic, critical institution, it's not
clear with what you are saying now.
We are not clear.
With the Article 55.
Article 55 plus 1.
Statement.
You want me to?
We don't have enough.
Okay.
Because I'm not getting
Article 50. Hello. Article 55.
No, let's proceed from there.
Bless.
I get what you're
Thank you. So I'm not. I can cut out the mischief.
Yes.
For the benefit of the viewers. So I move. What I'm saying is Article 55,
yes,
clause 1, says that the right to form political parties is hereby guaranteed. So NDC, as we speak now, it is a law-abiding political institution. It is a political party.
It is a creature of the law. Yes.
The NDC is a creature of law. But Mr. Bosman Asari is saying that a creature of law constitutes clear and present danger to the stability of this democracy.
So what's the problem?
What the problem is that he made a comment that could have plunged this country into chaos.
He said this is opinion.
I thought he said it's a statement of fact.
Yeah, I mean, it's his opinion.
Right.
But to me, it's a statement of fact.
Right.
So you see, but let me just spend a minute on the OSP. You know, Saka was saying that the President of the Republic, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, said that office should not be scrapped. There's a difference between the occupant or the occupier of that office and the office. The gentleman occupying the office, Mr. Kisia Jeben, and the OSP, they are two distinct entities. Even though he is occupying it, if there are calls that the SP, that is the special prosecutor, should be removed, it is not that the OSP should be scrapped, because some of us subscribe to the view that, given the lackadaisical attitude, the I wouldn't say slothful,
laissez-faire,
like unenthusiastic, unenthusiastic. Whatever by the OSP, by Mr. Kisia Japan, in pursuing some of the cases before him, tells me clearly that he is not up to the task. And you know what? Mr. Kisia Ajaben himself at a forum said, without gun to his head, on his own accord, on his own volition, said he was a reluctant occupier of that office. Doc, you people are if somebody says that he's a reluctant occupier of an office, should that person be allowed to continue to occupy that office if the person says he's a reluctant occupier of that office? Because he's reluctant. He said he's a reluctant occupier. Not that he was reluctant to. He said, I am a reluctant occupier of the OSP.
I've not seen that.
You haven't seen it? He said it.
He said it.
It was a forum organized by one guy.
It was in context, actually.
Oh, okay.
It
was in context.
Maybe he said that he reluctantly accepted the job.
No. He didn't say. He said. No. He didn't say.
Benefits that his life is better.
He's better off.
He has a convoy, bulletproof cars. I mean, sometimes we have to be fair to the family. And that, I mean, this gentleman was doing very well in the private sector, and everybody will attest to that. So that he made that statement
in the context that
I mean, he could have lived a life outside the OSP. So I think so.
So Doug, we want to say that I took what he said out of context.
Exactly.
No, but the point is this: what he said, I am a reluctant occupier of this office. It's an office that has been placed on my head. So clearly, that person,
he feels burdened by the position, and then
so was this?
I've given you the right.
But you know what? Blessed. I am handicapped to actually make my submission based on the petitions submitted to the president, which he forwarded to the Chief Justice, because I am not privy to the content. I'm sure when we have the opportunity, or we are lucky to have the content, then we can make solid submission on it. Because as for all those things that I mentioned, I don't know whether the petitioners
included these things. Right, thank you very much.
Even there was a time where somebody had to stage one man.
Thank you.
The lady, somebody who kept changing.
Thank you, Salom.
Somebody whose knowledge or grasp of arithmetic so poor. And it's not incompetence.
Salom, thank you very much. Now let me come to Dr. Educhum. He has not spoken since we started. I'll take his initial thoughts. I see he has scripted a lot of things down. So he has so much to respond to Saka and then Salom Jamado. Let's hear
That's just to disappoint you, not really. I don't. First of all, let me commend you. I mean, you're doing very well for our democracy.
Thank you.
And also seize the opportunity. You know, for many years, having seen the Lent season and Ramadan starting on the same day. You know, this year or this season, it started on the same day. So let me wish our Christian. That's the fasting and prayer for most Christians, especially Catholic and some Orthodox Christians. So they are doing 40 days, or we are doing 40 days of fast.
You normal fast, or you break at a point?
We break at a point. For example, I have. So, and for us, you really don't need to even disclose. But I'm just saying that I pray that God and Allah guide us through this process. And also to wish all Ghanaians, especially those who are watching Pan-African TV, well. First, I'm very excited about the outcome of the petition, and especially where seemed to be a greater consensus on the position of the Chief Justice, that our democracy is protected or to be enriched if we stop this kind of rebuttal, especially the pendulum swing between the two major parties, the MPP and NDC. And that's the more reason why that we, the United Party, have been appealing to Ghanaians to help us build a strong third force, not only to make it a third force, to neutralize the so-called strength which of the two parties, which indeed when you have analyzed it, is anchored on pure division using various demographic features of our society to divide us as a people. And these discussions, if you listen to Saka especially, it's clear to you that his position is predetermined. If the Chief Justice had even opted for the other way around, Saka would have opposed to it vehemently. And even now that he's supporting it, he's citing reasons why even the president or the Chief Justice took that decision. But for me, there are merit in that. The first one is the way it is safeguarding our democracy. And I think that is very important. It's important for a number of reasons. Some may include the fact that now to just get the quantum of petitions, 10 petitions against the Electoral Commission leadership and the special prosecutor, to me is unwarranted. And I agree with Salom that we've not had the benefit of looking at the content or reading the content. But even without that, I feel that the sheer volume of the number of petitions shows that we are so sorry to use the word joking with our democracy. Because yes, there are issues. For example, I personally, and even I believe most members of Movement for Change will agree with me, that the way the 2024 election, especially last quarter, was handled was inappropriate. It shows a grounds for incompetence. For example, I remember that all the presidential candidates who filed paid the same amount of filing fee, and therefore should have been granted and given the same rights and responsibilities. Meanwhile, the so-called IPAC also will have a meeting with the leadership of the Electoral Commission, and the independent presidential candidate will not be part of that meeting. And I ask myself, are we not going for the same context? So that you can raise as mark of incompetence. But to me, it is not persuasive enough to say that you remove a chairperson of the Electoral Commission based on that. Another critical issue, if you file and you go through the filing process to become a candidate, you are entitled to 1+1 agent across all the over 40,000 polling stations. And now remember that they set out the rules and the CI grants them that, because when the parliament approves their CI, it means that the operational framework has been anchored, and therefore that is implemented. So they will tell you that write a letter to introduce your agent. That is the responsibility of the presidential candidate. We did that, for example. The signed letter of our presidential candidate, you take it to the polling station, and some electoral commission officers were asking us that the bearer of the letter should prove his membership of Movement for Change, for example. And we suffered that across the country, that many places our agents were not allowed to even exercise their right as agent or representative of the flag bearer. So that can be cited as grounds of incompetence. But to me, you cannot say that because of that, because that's very operational. And you can't say that it was the sole responsibility of the chairperson or the deputy chairpersons of the Electoral Commission. So I think that that decision to protect our democracy is very important. Then also we have to commend the president for not taking a decision to reverse that, because I think that he could have disagreed openly with the Chief Justice, and I think we need to commend him for complying with the decision of the Chief Justice. And that shows that yes, the national chairman, I think immediately after the swearing in, came on Joy News and made it clear that he will support a petition to remove the and I think that was inappropriate, especially leading member of a chairperson of the government. Oh, I will not.
But how reckless?
That's your
I mean, as a national chairman, then you go and mount on the national television.
But that is too strong.
It's not even about the strength.
That's very reckless.
I'm coming. No, Saka, I'm coming. It is not even about the strength of Saka's this one. It's about the fact that, look, Saka, you are here saying that you think it is a statement of fact that Bossman Asari says the NDC is a threat, and so
it's a threat to our democracy.
Yes, according to you, I'm coming
to your family.
Yes, it's a threat to our democracy, and you don't think that fine, and you don't think that
the people who go to IPAC
and you don't think that and you don't think that the chairman of the National Democratic Congress is entitled to his opinion per what he has seen, per what he observed during the election. You don't think that he's also entitled to that opinion?
I'm equally entitled to say his statement is reckless.
Oh, but you see, we don't need to go that, because we pollute,
I mean, when it happens like that, you are just being extremely partisan.
You mean I said it?
Yes, because it doesn't serve your interest. I'm tempted to believe that because Bossman Asari, probably serves your interest as a member of the New Patriotic Party, that is why you think that whatever he said is a statement of fact. I mean,
I think you are reinforcing my point.
Well,
that has been the posturing of the two
political parties. When it serves their interest, then they agree with it.
You see, so that is what we need to do away. And the way out is for Ghanaians to tell them in the face through opportunity to vote in 2028 that we don't need you no more. We want you to play a different role. And in my view, that statement juxtaposed that against the action of the president actually shows that the president more or less has been able to remove himself from the partisanship of, because NDC really dealt with the EC and they made promises to deal with the EC when they win power. There's no doubt. NPP did the same in 2016 and you cannot run away from that. NPP carried out, got Charlotte Osei out, and I know that is gone over years, so we don't need to reinvent. There's no way that Madam Charlotte Osei can be reinstated as a chairperson of the EC. So we should move on as a country. But you see, in spite of all this, we don't need to also overlook the fact that our electoral process requires some reforms. Because if you look at how registration is even carried out to the day of voting and declaration of results, this is not a foolproof system that you can say can generate the outcome that the Ghanaians want. And you can cite instances where people have voted and their votes have not been counted for the candidates that they voted for. And we have some instances to share. But the way out is not to sweep this whole incompetence or the structure of the EC and how it operates under the carpet and say that, oh, the petition has been thrown away for want of merit, so we should move on. I think the stakeholders involved in our democracy must come together to offer suggestions to reform the way we run our elections, and especially the way we campaign in this country, from intra-party campaigns. If you look at what happened in MPP primaries and what happened in Ayawasu East, where we should be all concerned, because the way we are proceeding is not sustainable. And I do not think that the next 2 election cycles we can sustain the way we are going, and that may not end well for our democracy.
But just to add 1 or 2, you see, even though we might not have read the nitty-gritty, we know the footnotes of all those petitions. One of the reasons, one of the petitioner actually petitioned was for SAR, because of SAR. That, the electoral commission sat down and aloof and allow a whole constituency not to have a representative. I mean, apart from the fact that these petitions were thrown out with the disdain that it deserves, I think that they should have fined some of them. I think some of them should, because look, electoral commission cannot just go and create a constituency when the boundaries for the district assemblies have not been made. You have a situation where you have a constituency falling in so many districts. You get the point. So all these things, first of all, is the local government that should form the district, and based on that, the electoral commission. Do you blame the? So the electoral commission should not be the one.
They have to be active.
Saga, do you blame the government for that? I am blaming the people who were supposed to create those boundaries.
But this happened under your administration.
It is not about under our administration matter. It's about petitioning for the removal of the electoral commission. The electoral commission has no work in that. The electoral commission is only waiting when those things are corrected or done well. Then they will now come and then
why wasn't it corrected?
And then create why are you actually
what you say is not supported by the Constitution of Ghana.
I'm asking.
It is not, because the Constitution is supported by the Constitution. Article 45, Article 45B. Article 45B says that the electoral commission is responsible for demarcating. Demarcating national and local, demarcating boundaries for national and local government elections. Article 45.
No, you are talking about elections.
That is what the Constitution says.
But before the electoral commission would do that, if a constituency or if a constituency fall within two or more districts,
correct,
then that is an anomaly. It's not supposed to be so.
Sure.
And in the SAL case, that was the case. The constituency fall within so many districts and all those things. So they don't know. That's the reason why they were only allowed to vote in presidential and not parliamentary. So the electoral commission was waiting for the local government to create those boundaries first and to ensure that they normalize it before they come and create the constituency. And immediately they did that. Don't you see that they created the constituency? So I don't think that the electoral commission should be faulted here. Doc was also talking about some points.
Just to comment, it's a very important point that you brought up.
Yes.
But you see, institutional incompetence is very important.
Yes.
Okay, and as an individual observer, you have been able to conclude that if you look at the process,
yes,
it is not their core mandate or responsibility. But they should know, and I believe they are aware, that the output of the local government ministry becomes input for their work.
Yes.
So if you sit down as a whole institution responsible for protecting the right of a section of your members.
No, they are not sitting down.
What did they do?
When you say if you sit down,
what did they do?
Because they cannot go and do the local government work.
It is not for them, but it is prompting the local government. The way you done the Are you aware of gerrymandering? Do you understand the concept of gerrymandering? So you see, you are a politician.
You do something to favor.
You are a politician. So sometimes let's be very dispassionate, because we are building a nation.
Yes, of course.
If we are very dispassionate, some of these comments you will be.
No, but I'm not getting your point. Is your point saying that The electoral commission should be blamed for the role of the local government.
No, collectively, I'm saying that what action did they take when they realized that you are demarcating the constituency side that some people will not have representation in parliament?
They were not the people
Do you think, I come from Asante Achimsa, do you think if it happens, MPP will sit unconcerned?
No, but you've missed the point.
That's a good question.
No, but you've missed the point.
Saka would not answer.
No, he has missed the point. That is not the role.
That's our problem.
That's not the role.
But again,
that's not the role.
We are being hypocritical about it.
See, I don't get you people. That's not the role of the data commission to go and set
not their
boundaries.
Core rule. Yes,
but boundaries. So no, not core. If it's mentioned the way, that's not their core rule. That's not their role.
So
somebody has to do it for them to also come and create theirs. So if that person, you see, one is contingent on another. So if the first one is unable to do it, they will have to wait until such time. So you are talking about
the person is doing it.
Oh no, you let me
for their selfish interest. They will sit down
prompting them. But who told you that they have not even prompted them? They have not even suggested to them that
should have been their defense.
Be fast enough.
That should have been their defense.
Also came here and then be a little bit. I don't get what he was trying to do by saying that oh, the United Party, because they were independent and they could not form part of some discussions and therefore, can you tell me, this is not the first time the independent political parties have not been part of those meetings. So somebody cannot be said to be incompetent because he has not allowed independent, because that has always been the tradition.
But that is wrong.
That is wrong. You can disagree with the process.
No, it's not a matter of disagreeing.
You can disagree.
No, let me clarify. The IPAC is a forum. If you are not a political party, you are not a member of
yes.
But the election is one and specific activity scheduled for 2024. So if you are preparing towards that election, the discussion towards that election, the stakeholders are different.
But you do know that even the IPAC itself is not even a creation of the constitution.
That even makes the case worse.
Their work
to leverage that
enforced.
To disadvantage
cannot be enforced. So
somebody can raise
some of these what do you call it? Some of these informal body that has been created to smoothen the work of the electoral commission. If it's not done well, cannot amount to incompetence.
But what does it?
That's the point I'm making.
No, what does it? You select somebody
in a situation where
and you don't grant him the same rights you are granting to a political party because it's a political party.
Is a situation where somebody vote?
Now that we are United Party, you know that
somebody vote is counted for another person.
Right.
I don't get it. That's the reason why you are supposed to put in there.
The time is 2:36. The time is.
So you'll be allowed.
You should come and join us.
It's 36. I'm coming. It's 36 minutes past 2.
As for Saka, he won't come.
We still have some 20 minutes more.
I was with you
until the program ends. We've spoken at length about the petitions presented to the president to see the back of the AC chairperson, Madam Jane Mensah, and her deputies, and also the special prosecutor. We've discussed SAL at length, but my question to Saka really was, I mean, would he say that broadly this was this happened under the New Patriotic Party? Was it a failure of the Kufuor government?
No, listen.
If you say somebody,
a body, that body, the local government office, they will tell you. I mean, time beat them. They will tell you it has to do with time.
Couldn't it have happened afterwards?
But not the electoral commission.
Couldn't we have had a by-election? A by-election in Sao? Couldn't conditions have been created? I mean, afterwards we knew that okay, this is their district, this is their constituency. They were no longer part of Ohwe. They were no longer part of the Volta region. They had fallen into the Oti region. Couldn't we have gone on to say that okay, there's no way that for 4 years these people or this group wouldn't have representation in parliament, and so now the constituency has been created. Well, the 2020 elections are over, but we still could have had an election over there. Is it because
I would like to answer this question?
Why did the ruling government think that because he had 137 members and then the NDC also had 137 members, and so if there was, and of course we know the voting pattern of the people in that particular.
No, we don't know the voting.
We know the voting pattern. We know the voting pattern
because
we know the voting pattern. Was it intentional? Was it intentional?
Listen, if that is a voting pattern, how come the MPP was having the seat?
We see.
The whole seat.
Saka.
Part of those people were
and these people, I'm coming.
So how come the MPP was holding the seat?
Yes, you had the seat.
So the party can change.
No.
Whatever party that you think
Saka,
can change.
Saka. The MPP had. I can also say that the MPP had that seat because the people of SAL didn't vote as part of the constituency.
Some voted.
How did the people of Sao, Santoko, Fiakpa, Fulolobi, and Likpe, they did not vote. They didn't vote in the parliamentary election.
But they
in the presidential. Yes. Did you win the presidential elections in Owe? You did not.
Yeah, I mean that one is.
That's another day.
You did not win the presidential elections in Owe.
But the parliamentary, the presidential.
Yes.
That one, because the presidential is
No, he's talking about.
I'm talking about. You did not win it. So was it intentional? Was it a deliberate?
No, we did not win in 2024, but we won in 2020.
Yes, but I'm saying
2020. You mean you won in Hohoi?
Yes, they won the parliamentary seat.
Yeah, parliamentary, but not presidential.
No, I mean the parliamentary.
Yes, but I didn't win the presidential, and that was because the people of South voted. Do you get the point? They voted.
No, but the point I'm trying to make is that somebody has to be blamed for.
We are blaming the NPP government,
but not the EC.
But we are blaming the NPP government.
You are rather being partisan because
how am I being partisan?
NPP. Well, because we are talking about whether or not the EC chairperson is responsible for the South situation, and I'm saying that she is not the one responsible.
As for that comment,
that's all. Now you can now go and look for who is responsible.
We are saying the NPP is responsible. We are saying Kufuor's government was responsible.
But the EC wasn't responsible.
Well.
But
we don't know if it was even contained in the petition.
If I may have
it was contained.
Yes, small time to discuss about the way even the appointment of the commissioners is done. I think that as a nation, this gives us an opportunity for Madam J. Mensah to continue. And I support her 100%. I mean, the fact that we suffered from some of their inactions and actions, I mean, do not warrant. Oh, I have laid bare my...
I'm just saying.
Fine, that's okay.
But it disagreed as well in that.
I mean, what I disagreed.
But the small point I wanted to make is that, during the appointment of some of the commissioners, and if you are fair, you know that their network, their leniencies were clear, very clear politically. Bosman Asari, for example, we went to the same secondary school, we come from the same town, in fact the same neighborhood. He was my senior, I know him very well. And the Sunyan man, 2 people know him, I know people who know him. So if there is an opportunity to do new appointment, this president should show the way that is interested in leaving a legacy for generations to continue. Because we have people who are political and who have the competency to run the electoral commission. We should avoid bringing in partisan people to become commissioners.
Bosman and Co are partisan.
I haven't concluded, but I say I know.
Dr. Adam was appointed after contesting some parliament.
Then he was a patron of TESCOM. So, but I'm saying that we need to seize this opportunity.
You don't have to mince words.
No, but is it true that you can be in a political party for a very long time? You were MPP.
Yes.
Now you are what?
UP, United Party.
So you don't think that somebody can be political and later on be apolitical?
Oh, well, that can be. That can be, but you see, that it will be very difficult to trust that person.
Like Awam was.
Yeah, Awam was MPC and became MPP.
Oh, that one moving around is different.
I understand what you're saying.
The person can be
it will be very difficult. You see, the challenge is, Saka, it is not the person. The perception comes from those of us who are outside the person. It's for the person, he says that I trust, I will make good judgment.
Sometimes your actions will lend credence to these
Bosman, for example, nobody can, and if you say, I'll tell him the senior, I know you, you know me. As at now. And Saka, you know. You understand? So, some of these things, I am not challenging his competence. But I'm saying that you put yourself in a situation where whatever decisions you make, people will interpret it or misinterpret it. So leaders should seize the opportunity when there is a vacancy to look outside the two political parties or all political parties, CPP, UP and others, and get people who have not associated with any political party publicly or knowingly. And I think that will
but you see, but even the point is that you can even associate yourself to a party publicly, but your actions would be patriotic and not necessarily partisan.
to be difficult for people to,
because aside, we can talk about all these things, but aside everything, we all have biases. The judges at the Supreme Court, they have their biases.
But not known. It's not public.
Be done by
manifestly.
Yes, so it must be seen to be done.
Yes.
So no matter if you have your biases,
your name itself is clouded in a certain way.
Why accept that?
No matter the decision that you take,
take
it with a pinch of salt.
no, but you can still. I believe that you can have your biases and still do right when you know that this is right.
No, for that one you can do right, but whether
the judgment is not yours
from the people is a simple.
But I think even though it's something that the Constitution has stipulated for the president to do, he has also shown some sense of patriotism in this thing, because the president has what it takes to pull the strings for the removal of these individuals, but he never did. So it means that he tamed his partisan bias.
According to Saka, it is because the goodwill of this government
is waning.
No,
is it? The thing is that
now they are dipping their crisis.
You know, there's an account proverb which says, "Akoko sacha akroma anything." The dance of the hawk would never
place the
fowl. But do you know one thing?
Tell me.
They intentionally made it so.
That's what I'm saying.
So that the president would take that decision, and then the loyalty of those institutional heads will now be the president. The president would have removed her. He would have removed her, but he decided not to.
So right now you think that the loyalty of the
point. Yeah, so that their loyalty onto himself.
You see, the outcome of this petitions read down to the Chief Justice, because the MPP, when Bafuboni was appointed, Saka and his people say, "Yay! Mahama appointed this gentleman
to become his president."
Yes, you understand? To influence the judicial decisions, in favor of the NDC. But today,
a classical case.
Yes, in law people say classicus lucus lucus classicus. Is this one? So NDC people who were also expecting something that yes, the EC boss and the deputies will be removed, the OSP will be removed, they are also now livid by the fact that the Chief Justice took this decision. A while ago, I was reading something. I saw something. Somebody was saying that, Mahama, you see what you have done.
You see the arguments that
this Chief Justice.
The arguments.
I get your point. But you can just
the arguments that was
at this beginning.
Not flattered to the same.
Not flattered. The arguments that was posited.
I just stated that we are not privy to the contents.
But I gave you some of the headlines, headnotes.
The arguments that was
it was based on SAL. It was based on.
But you don't know the content of it.
We don't know the content. You sponsored people to write it. These are the contents.
You're becoming dangerous. You sponsored people to write it.
You think that this may be some of the.
No, not maybe. These are the. Somebody like Martin Pebu said some frivolous against the OSP. He has always told us the reason and all those things. And it was thrown in his face. So we know we can see.
But to be fair to him, that wasn't part of the thing.
He said it.
So this was thrown away.
It wasn't part of what had been
that was 2024, I think. He said
2024.
His has not been.
So this was thrown away long ago.
Under the MPP.
Yeah, it was trample on.
I want you to add that. Under the MPP was thrown away.
Is that?
We trample on that petition and with our left leg.
But you see, Like I was saying.
No, but Pebu also petitioned for the removal of the SP.
Yes. Yeah.
Some time ago, not as part of the 10. Yes.
Even now,
his had not been thrown out.
Yeah.
That if his had been thrown out, he would have lost faith in the system. I just saw something a while ago.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Saying that
but his was
some of these petitions are even stronger than his own.
Look, I'm telling you, Doc.
But I think we should see what
some of the petitions are.
I don't know.
Stronger than
your academic studies. Is it possible that when you diagnose somebody of extreme partisanship, we can find a cure, an elixir for that person, so that the person will be less. I'm not a political scientist. I know the political scientist. Maybe we need to consult.
But in private, I'm not that partisan.
Oh, but so you agree I'm partisan?
Oh yeah, I mean sometimes I am. But you see, but sometimes I am, and sometimes based on what the other side is also doing.
So
if the other side
tit for tat.
Yeah, I mean, if for instance, look at this KOKU matter. The last time I came here, or was it here? I said I sympathize with the government in a way, but because of the actions of the government, because of their utterances whilst in opposition, that's the reason why I'm no longer, having that sympathy for them, and therefore I have to also do what I have to do. If not, because the monies that are being dissipated, the poor decisions that government is making here and there, all of us will suffer the brunt. You understand? So sometimes it's even good to be partisan, so that you put the people on their toes.
You can be critical, of course.
You can be critical without necessarily being partisan.
You can be both critical.
But the consistency, the challenge, Saka, that is happening. You see in our democracy is the consistency. If this KOKU matter, just go pray 2024. And read about the content of people who were criticizing full NDC.
Correct.
Reverse it, come to 2026 now. MPP people. Why?
With the same
reason.
Farmers are not crying.
Oh, they are, because
so they are crying for the MPP.
But some of them are also praising the government.
Recently, they are doing propaganda. The government will have to give one of
on the 14th of February, the Valentine's Day. And then I posted a picture.
You posted, but I saw you with some girls.
No, I posted a picture of myself and Comrade Kwesi Pratt. It was a picture we took at Obra Sport, preparing for demonstration against the Europa in that was 2006. So 14th of February this month was exactly 20 years.
Wow.
So when some people saw, like those who saw the picture on Facebook and other platforms, they started commending me for the consistency. That is what it is. It's about consistency.
No, but that was
so reputation.
Is that?
You were saying that we shouldn't implement.
No, what I'm saying that what you criticized
should be
yesterday. If the same thing obtains today, you should be able to criticize it, regardless of what the position of your party.
The point I'm making is that the electoral commission wanted to implement something that would let every Ghanaian everywhere vote, and you people said no, don't let every Ghanaian everywhere vote. That was the number. Now you are sitting here telling us that allow some people to vote.
Oh, but within the
is within.
I'm saying that Ghanaian everywhere should vote. Everywhere.
Ghanaians outside the country, not Ghanaians outside Ghana.
But what I'm saying is that
it's not Ghanaians.
Thank you so much.
No, not every Ghanaian.
People said no, allow every Ghanaian to vote.
Ghanaians allow abroad should be given the opportunity to vote. We stood against it.
Please,
and you said no.
My time is up. My time is up. I need to go. It's been interesting, hasn't it? It's been a very interesting show. I want to thank you, Dr. Nanaya Aweduchum, for your time. He's the Director of Policy at the United Party, UP. UP.
Now they are removing their class.
Butterfly.
The class is always the most dangerous. trust you. like the MTV.
Oh.
Plus.
The
name
is
United.
No UP plus.
They tell them we need to talk.
UP. Thank you very much, Saka Salia. Always, you know, he's a maverick, but then Maverick Saka.
This one is not Maverick. This is a typical partisan guy.
Maverick Saka. And thank you very much, Salom Dramani Jamado, and to our cherished viewers who watched across the length and breadth of the country. Thank you so much for your time. I'm really pleased. I thank you for your dedication to the national agenda. I'll come your way again on Tuesday. We run from Tuesdays to Fridays. The time is 1 to 3 p.m. It's a new show. I want to thank you so much for getting yourself involved. I'm getting very positive reviews, and we are really grateful. We'll continue to do what we have to do for the greater good of our nation. That is what, of course, the national agenda is all about. I'll see you on Tuesday. Until then, do have a pleasant weekend. Tomorrow though, 9 a.m. Alaji and Alaji, make sure you join. I've seen the lineup, very powerful, brainy people. I'm sure Sena Nombo is going to kill it as usual, and you're also going to enjoy it. I'll see you. Bye-bye.
Ghana's Day of Shame is here again, and the Socialist Movement of Ghana, in collaboration with the Kwame Nkrumah Memorial Park, will be marking it with a public forum on Tuesday, February 24th, 2026.